By the way, happy Epstein Files release day to all who celebrate, because that is what is supposed to be happening today. Real quick, before we dive into everything today, my apologies for the, not so great, once again, having to do it from my cell phone because Mediacom is trash. And my internet went down for the third time this week, which makes it obviously very, very hard to work. But again, thank you, Mediacom, for being such a piece of garbage. But anyway, that's not going to stop us from talking about what we need to talk about. And yeah, I couldn't, in my camera roll, could not find the default thumbnail for the video. So I decided to pull the old bait and switch, give you guys the puppy picture in hopes that it would draw more of you in. I don't know. It's Friday, right? Anything goes. Just going to be a weird day for me. It's already shaping up to be a little odd. So, we're doing what we can do here. But, again, it's supposed to be Epstein Files Day, right? Pam Bondi is supposed to be releasing those any minute now, right? We're all waiting with bated breath. Comment there says, I only tuned in for the puppy. Yeah, sorry. That is the best picture I can find for the thumbnail. But we're waiting. Pam, where are the files? And of course, how much is going to be redacted from those files? We don't know. I'm willing to bet it's going to be a lot, especially after Susie Wiles' admission this week that, Trump is in the files, but he's totally not doing anything bad, even though we've got all the photos. Listen, I'm working with a new little gimbal here, and for some reason, it's deciding to track me in a way that it shouldn't be tracking. So my apologies for that. It's getting a little too high there. It's not wanting to cooperate. Good God. This is, again, it's a weird day, folks. Technology is not working the way it's supposed to. So we're just going to have to grin and bear it. Somebody asked, is the NSA taking away your internet again? I don't know. But whatever it is, it's super annoying, but it's not even as annoying as the gimbal here doing its auto adjustment, trying to track me. But let's jump in. A new memo came out from the Republican Party this week, folks, instructing their members on how to respond to the Epstein Files release. That, again, is supposed to happen any minute now, but the GOP, the official Republican Party, sent a memo out to all of their members in Washington, D.C. to tell them how they need to respond to the Epstein Files. The Democratic Party didn't have to do that. I wonder why. But Republicans felt the need to go ahead and tell their members how to lie to the public about what is going to be coming out in those files. Let me read this. Nothing Democrats post or leak on this matter can be taken at face value. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop right there because really, photographs can't be taken at face value, even when the Democrats release photographs of Bill Clinton? Oh, no, I'm sure those can be taken at face value, but not any of the photos of Donald Trump or any of these other people. Hell, even Noam Chomsky, right? That's a big yikes. Although he, was, I don't know. I'm not even going to make excuses for anybody. Like, that's just a big old giant yikes. Republicans are also encouraged to challenge legacy media, which staffers accuse of having misled the public over the files. Much of the legacy media has uncritically amplified falsehoods, acting as a willing conduit rather than performing basic due diligence. So says the Republican memo. It appears to be designed to help Republicans challenge Democrats over the Epstein documents by avoiding discussion of their contents, framing Democrat accusations as part of a partisan campaign. So, they're not going to address anything that's actually in the files. They're not going to address any of the photographs. They're basically going to pretend that the Democrats are just a bunch of liars releasing stuff that should have been released, God, at this point, 26 years ago? Epstein's first arrest? 16 years ago that was. My math was a little off. But either way, you don't see the Democrats having to do this. There's no leaked memos from the DNC saying, Democrats, here's how you frame it. Here's what you need to say. Here's how you dismiss every horrible thing the public might be learning on Friday. Democrats didn't have to do that. And we know one of our guys, one of the older guys, let's be honest, is in it. He's on the flight logs. He's in the pictures, Nobody's trying to excuse that on the left. Nobody's trying to act like that's totally cool and normal. But Republicans are having to do that, and I think that tells us a lot. Got a super chat here from Moondragon. Thank you very much, by the way. It says, fake news, the mating call of the guilty. 100%. And that's what this is. They know these files are going to be bad for them. And they know that because I'm assuming they have probably been at least briefed in some way by Pam Bondi or other members of Congress who have, of course, seen what the Oversight Committee, what they have. So they told the party got together and said, okay, listen, this is bad. This is going to be worse. Here's how we're going to have to address this. Everybody take notes and pay attention to the memo. I don't think we're going to get anything super crazy today. Either Pam Bondi is going to release heavily redacted versions of the Epstein files, but we're definitely not going to get everything, either through redactions or through Pam Bondi just saying, oh, I need more time. I haven't gone through them yet. I was busy. Oh, I had to get my picture taken for Vanity Fair. That took up like 4 days. So who knows? But eventually they'll come out. What kills me about this is the Democrats, not in a bad way, by the way. It doesn't kill me in a bad way. But the Democrats are doing exactly what I said 6 months ago they should do. Because the Epstein estate announced a long, long time ago, like, y'all know we have everything, right? And we're willing to give it to you guys. And at the time I came out and said, the Democrats ought to get this from them and start releasing it. And then sure as hell, a month later, that's what they started doing. The Epstein estate could have done that, by the way, at any point in the last 6 years. Why they waited till right now, I don't know. I wish I did have an answer for that, but I don't. So these are things that are readily available. So regardless of what Pam Bondi attempts to do with anything regarding, grand jury testimonies or state's evidence is secondary. Because I think so far the worst stuff we have seen is what has come either from the mouths of the victims themselves or from what the Democrats on the House committee have been releasing. So as long as that stuff keeps up, then Bondi's release, if it ever does happen, is almost irrelevant at this point because we can get the crazy crap. We can get the really hard, damning information either from the estate or from the victims themselves. The victims themselves, of course, are people who have been almost ignored. They've been used as political props. Sure, they'll pop up and, we're going to do a press conference and Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to run and jump in and be like, I stand with these women. But those are the people we should be listening to. Those are the people that I feel, honestly, should be given complete immunity from any kind of civil liability so that they can go out there and say, here's the list of men. Without fear of any of those men coming and saying, well, I'm going to sue you for defamation. I don't think, obviously, civil immunity is actually a thing, by the way, but they need some kind of protection so that they can come out and tell us who these people are. Because until we hear it from the victims, none of this other stuff matters. The victims are the ones who deserve this justice. They deserve people to listen to them, and they deserve to have their stories be told should they choose to tell those stories. And that, of course, is another big caveat there. If they don't want to talk, they don't have to talk. Nobody should force them. Nobody should do anything to say that these women have an obligation to come forward. No, they don't.